New defensive coordinator here at Syracuse after a year at Michigan, and Stanford the year before that is Scott Shafer. And Coach, welcome aboard.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
How did this come about for you? How do you know Coach Marone, and why'd you wind up here?
Well, Doug and I, we had never met really until the first phone call, but a couple good friends of mine worked with him down with the Saints. A couple guys that I worked with at different stops along the way, and I guess they gave him my name and phone number, and I was happy to hear from him.
What do you know about what he's trying to accomplish here? How did that come across in the time you were talking to him, and how do you fit in?
I'll be honest with you. The first phone call and first conversation we had together, we were right on the same page when it comes to philosophical points of view, how to treat people, coaching styles, how to demand things from the kids, as well as where we wanted to go with the X's and O's. So we really hit it off. I was actually back in Ohio hanging out with my mom and my kids and my wife prior to Christmas when he called, and we really hit it off. I think everyone was wondering where I was. I was upstairs on the phone with him all morning long, and then we ended up talking day after day, and we really just clicked. And I knew we would. I suspected we would just because of the type of people he's been around, the type of people that he's worked with, and the similarities in our points of view.
Is this an exciting time, this new staff coming together, and it's not as though a new head coach or a head coach came in here from an existing place where he brought 7 or 8 staff members. He's piecing this together from all over the country, all over the Northeast, guys with different connections.
That's right.
And it looks like you're just starting to buy into the mission and ready to hit the ground running.
Yeah, it's a wonderful situation. I really believe the first 2 to 3 months of any new job that you take is when you really kind of bond with each other. Because, you know, your families, you kind of have to leave them back home, and we're all in similar situations, and you lean on one another. And, you know, I got in here late Friday, and we met Saturday, Sunday, and here we are Monday getting ready to go on the road. But we worked 14, 15 hours together the first 2 days back to back, and you get to know each other, the personalities. And the one thing I'll tell you is I feel really good and really comfortable about the people we're working with, and we're just ready to hit it running, like you said.
Coach, you mentioned X's and O's, and I know you've got some evaluation to do of this team you have here and the personnel.
Right.
What would you say describes the style that you've had as a coordinator at the BCS level the last 2 years?
Sure. Well, I think we're an attack 4-3 defense. We really like to put the pressure on the offense, and that doesn't necessarily mean blitzing every down. But what it does mean is we want to be a penetrating defense up front with our front 7. And we want to be a defense that gets our safeties involved in the run game. We want to press the corners as a starting point. But I think you have to understand any defense is this day and age has to have the ability to be multiple and change and adjust to the elements that you're playing against. So we'll be multiple, but we'll start in a 4-down look, attack-style defense, pressure package, kind of turning the kids loose.
Now, more so than the offensive staff, you come in with really the position coaches already in place for the most part. Derek Jackson and Dan Conley were retained. John Anselmo's the first coach that Coach Marone hired. So some work has been done here before you even get on board.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I remember Dan when he was playing here, what a great player he was. And the thing that was nice, before I actually accepted the job, I had the opportunity to talk to those guys in great detail. And through the phone, I could hear the passion in their voices. Dan, he loves this place, and you could feel that coming across the phone line. Derek Jackson worked with Joe Novak, who I used to work with at Northern Illinois. After I had left Northern, Joe hired him, so I was familiar with him. He worked with 4 or 5 guys that I had already worked with or knew closely. So I felt there were some familiar faces back here, even though I didn't truly work with them one-on-one. And then like I said, hearing their voice across, really got a good feel for them. John Anselmo, the guy owns New York in recruiting when he was at Nassau Community. I've known John more than he's known me, to be quite honest with you, just because of his work and the great teams that he coached at Nassau. So I felt real familiar with those guys, especially after speaking with them. Felt excited about the opportunity to come in here and start building that defense with these 3 individuals.
Now, statistically, the performance hasn't been there the last couple of years, but how encouraged can you be by an All Big East performer in Arthur Jones returning, and really a lot of youth there in the defensive group.
You know, I'd be speaking out of turn if I had an opinion on any of them right now, because I think the first thing we need to do is sit down and get to know one another. But, you know, it's good to see Arthur back up front. I know him. I remember when he was in high school, and I kind of tracked his career a little bit, you know, read a lot about his successes here. But really the big thing is getting them in front of you, talking with them, and kind of expounding to them the types of things we want to do. And then getting them to get excited about what we want to do. And the thing we want to do is we want to really concentrate on the things that we can control on a daily basis. I think that's how you set a program forward, regardless of where you're coming from. And I've been in a lot of situations where we've taken programs that maybe struggled and then turned them around pretty quickly. And it all starts with their attitude, then their effort, then their enthusiasm. And those are the things that I look forward to doing. I look forward to meeting them. You know, they'll be back. Monday when we get back in town. Look forward to meeting those kids.
That's right. The second semester about to start. And Coach, we'll turn you loose on this thought, because I know you've got a lot of work ahead of you. What does Syracuse football mean to you when you've been out in other places, primarily in the Midwest at Western Michigan, Northern Illinois, Stanford, Michigan? What has Syracuse from afar meant, and what can it be?
Well, for so many years as a young coach, recruiting in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, New York, going through there. I can remember back early 90s, mid-90s, Syracuse was the name. Syracuse was the name, in especially New Jersey, where I was recruiting. Coach DeLeon and Coach Paul Pasqualoni, those guys did an unbelievable job. They were everywhere. And that's what we need to get back to. We need to get back to taking over those areas and saying, these are ours. And we want to go head-to-head with Penn State. When we get this right, and when we get to the point where Syracuse is back on track, that's what it'll be. It'll be us fighting with Penn State and taking those kids, winning in the Big East with the kids from the surrounding area, and feeling great pride and passion and getting them back to where it was. You know, and that's the thing we look forward to. And under Doug's direction, and with his passion to recruit the area, I think that's what I think at Syracuse. They have tradition here. It's a conference that's very competitive. We've got opportunities in the BCS, and we want to do it with the New York kids, the New Jersey kids, the East kids. And back when they were rolling, that's what they did. So we look forward to the challenge of getting back on track, both on the field but also off the field, with the vital influences Doug has in the recruiting regions that we need to, you know, dominate.
Exciting stuff, Coach. We can
Great.
tell you're ready for the job and ready to hit the road this week. So thanks for being with us. We'll catch up with you, I guess, before spring ball, somewhere in that neighborhood.
That sounds good.